Hi everybody, thanks for watching another EmperorPC video. So this video was designed to say, hey, um, how do I back up just my files? Like, I don't need the programs, I don't need the operating system. I just want an incremental backup that'll go backwards in time, like an hour, a day, a week, or however it may be that it's configured. Um, File history does that. So Windows 11 and Windows 10, Windows 8, they all featured a function called file history. And the idea behind this feature is that rather than restoring your entire computer um, back in time to the last image, all right, or I got to restore every single file. What file history does is it allows you to go back in time to whatever you set it to and pick out either one file or a folder, restore those pieces of data that are in that folder that you want, right? So is it a backup? No, file history is not a true backup. And it shouldn't be concerned or thought of as one. A backup is something that my whole computer died and you can recover all of your data. This is not that method. File history makes it so that you can select a date and time based on the last time you backed it up to recover a file or a folder filled with files. Um, and that's what it's useful for. So it takes your entire documents, right? So desktop, downloads, documents, pictures, music, videos, these folders here are what it backs up. And it only backs up these folders for that particular user. So if you have multiple users on your computer, it will not back up all of the users, just the files for this one user. So keep that in mind. If you have multiple people that use your computer, you may want to do a full backup, a full image, maybe even pay for an actual image, full incremental step-by-step backup because they are worth it. There's companies like Acronis, Shadow Protect, ArcServe, um, many, many more that have amazing backup software that will do a full system backup. But for the purpose of this video, we're just going to talk about file history. And the way that you set that up is we go to the folder icon, and then we have to go to the control panel using this little drop arrow here. And you'll notice you don't see it, right? That's because view by category needs to be changed to large or small. For the purpose of the stream, we'll use large icons. They're easier to see. Now you can see file history. The second way that you can get there is you can type in control panel. Then you can go up to this app where it's highlighted on the top. Click there. It will bring you to this same area. Again, it may be a category, so you'll have to change it to large icons. And the third way, I know I'm being redundant, just you can search for file history, right? And you'll get it popped up here. Now, that then takes you to this file history area, right? So that you can set this up. The first thing we want to do is select the drive that we're backing it up to, right? For terms of this, what we'll do is we'll just say, I got this flash drive here, right? And it's called new volume. You'll notice it's not plugged in, but once I plug it in, it'll show up, right? So we plug it in, it pops up. So now I want to select it. So the first thing we do, select the drive. We already know what it's called, so we're going to select new volume. And now it's this simple. It'll say I'm copying files from the libraries, which is your user folder, the desktop, contacts, favorites, right? Now the contacts and favorites needs to be taken with a grain of salt because that's not all your contacts. That's not all your favorites. If you have contacts and favorites on multiple browsers, It may not back them all up, so you may have to manually back those up. So again, file history, it's not a backup. It's more of a restore point for files back in time that are physically on the computer, that are in your user folder. So to set up file history, we select the drive, go to new volume, and then you can say turn on or exclude folders. For now, we're just going to turn it on. Now it'll tell you that it's running the backup and to be patient once it starts running. So file history is saving copies. Fairly quick computer, not a whole lot in the user folder, right? So it told me, hey, it's done. It backed up at 10:38. Now, let's say I didn't want to have a certain folder backed up. I can add that here. And then I can go to the C drive, or this depends on your computer, to the user folder, to this specific one here, which is this profile. And I can say, I don't want to back up my desktop. And when I select that, it will not back up that folder. So if there's certain folders on your computer, like I don't need that, or I really don't want to back that up, you can exclude them here. For the purpose of this video, we're just going to say back them all up, right? So now that they're backed up, how do I know they're there? The files were copied, it says so. But if I'm being really picky and I want to know for sure, I go to that drive manually, and I can see, oh, there's file history. I start diving into the folders, right? We go into all this stuff, and now I can see all my files. So when I go to the desktop, we see that that's up there on the upper left, streaming settings, right? So that's all good. We have that file, we verified it. Well, what if I delete it, right? And I go, oh, I decided to empty it. Oh, crap, it's gone. I can't get it back. That's the whole point of file history. So if you did delete that file, it's gone. You're like, oh, I got it back. Just search for file history and go to restore personal files. Now I can see all the items that it backed up. Since it was on my desktop, we're going to go to desktop, and I can pull that file, right? I go here, I go there. So now it restored it on the desktop, as you can see. So I'll do that one more time just to show you. We're going to go open up file history. We'll get to this window. So again, search bar, file history, restore personal files, and then, oh, where did I save it? It was on my desktop. There it is. I select it, and then I hit the green circle here to restore it to its original location. It will automatically pop up this window to verify, but we saw it happen there. So now I can open this up. I can say, hey, here's a file with some items in it, and we can see that the text is in there. And that's the nice thing. So let's say I make another file, and I go text document, and I go back this up. I'm going to call it, I don't know. We'll call it that, and we'll say, are you sure? Right? I don't know. Now, I got new files on here, but when I go in here, it's not there. Well, because now we have to set a date and time of how often, how long do we want to keep it. That's an advanced setting. So if I go to advanced settings, it'll tell me, hey, when was the last time that you want to save it or back it up? We could do every hour, every 10 minutes, all the way to daily. So whatever you want to set that as, just remember, the more often you save it, the more often your drive's going to fill up. From here, we can also say, how long do we want to keep it? We could do until space is needed, which deletes it as you go. May or may not work for people, this is something you need to make the decision on for yourself, right? And if you're not 100% sure, make sure you talk with a technician, go to a local specialist, somebody who can actually tell you, here's how long you want to keep your files, this is what you need. This video is just intended to show you how to navigate file history, so hopefully that helps. So we got file history working, we got a drive hooked up, we've said how long do I want to keep it, how often do I want to save copies, and we can see where it's backing up, when it was last copied. Now if you're in a hurry and you're like, I got to make sure to save this, you can just hit run now. It'll start running and it'll change that date in time. So you'll see the time changed. Now I can go in here and verify, if I wanted to, that it's on there. Yep, it's on there. So that makes it so you can manually back up in case it hasn't copied in a while. You can make sure to review it. Just make sure that if you're in restore personal files, you don't hit refresh because you will override your files. So that's it. I mean, again, there's two ways to verify. You can look at the restore area. You can go into here and verify. This is my favorite method because now I can't accidentally hit the circle button. And then this way it'll tell you, even the file is kind of nice because let's say you go in here and you're looking for something specific. It has the name, the date, the time, all that. And I know I'm getting a little in depth here, but in essence, that's how you set it up. There's going to be a lot of decisions you'll have to make about how do you want to back it up, where do you want to back it up to, how often should you back up, and how long should you keep those. And that's really a personal decision that you should be able to make. If you're struggling with making that decision, just like I said, consult a professional. So that's it. So we'll do a real quick run through one last time. To go to file history, you can either use the control panel by searching control panel or by clicking this drop down arrow up here once you go into File Explorer to control panel, or you can use file history and just search for that. Searching for file history is probably the simplest way. Once you're in there, you want to select the drive you want to back up to. And then after you select that drive, you can turn it on. It'll back up. And you can then say, do I want to exclude any folders? And how do I want to save them? How long do I want to keep them? And that's it. So that's how to use file history. Anything else that you want to learn, put in the chats. Let me know what you think about this video here. If you like it, subscribe. There'll definitely be more. And hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.